What that model is not trying to do is to say there's one way to teach, because that's crackers. There are lots of people that believe there are, but there's no evidence to say that works. What we need to be is research informed, as I talked about earlier. And the problem in education is that, as you well know, it's not very easy to say, if we do that, this will happen. Because very few things in education are simple cause and effect. Because what we know as teachers is that you do some stuff and that can make a difference. But it's very difficult to nail down that it's that thing that makes that outcome. So in some ways you have to do some best guess in terms of what's right through pedagogy. So that's what we're really trying to do here, is just to be research informed. And what I hope with that model is that it's just a conversation piece. What I can't underline enough, please, 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 do not turn it into a tick list for a lesson observation, because you'll kill it. Okay? And there is a real temptation sometimes with things like that to say, well, we see this, and we see this, and we see this. It's a good lesson. Yeah? And you might have seen this, and this, and this, and there may still be no learning going on. Okay? In fact, you might go in a classroom and see none of those things, and the learning could be fabulous. So you're the professionals. You have to make those judgments when you're observing teaching and learning in your school. Because I think what this is about, it's about us trying to get at the heart of learning. There's a difference between learning and performance. And a lot of what we see when we go in a classroom is performance, because it's very difficult for us to assess whether learning is happening, isn't it? Because learning doesn't happen like that, usually. It's messy. It takes time. You have to fall over a few times when you're learning. You have to get back up and go on. And actually, often the real test of whether learning has taken place isn't after it's just been taught. Okay? The real test is much later down the line. And if you really want to know whether learning has taken place, you need to check out whether students can apply that in lots of different contexts at a later date. So, what this isn't about is saying, if you do these things, great, sorted, teaching and learning will be fine. It's about that professional dialogue, really. So that's really where we're coming from. So I think the conversation back in school is about whether you could have a sense about whether that feels what should be going on in a classroom. Does it feel right? And could you use it as a model for a dialogue, for a conversation in school, something that you could keep coming back to? Because sometimes models are really helpful for having conversations.